The smartest way to make money with artificial intelligence may not be creating a tool. It may be talking about artificial intelligence, building a brand, and turning attention into a business. And I know this may sound too simple, but that is exactly why most people ignore it. While some are trying to build apps, automations, agents, and complicated products, others are building audiences by talking about this revolution. And many times, those creators are the ones who end up capturing the most value. Stay with me until the end, because I will show you why documenting what you are learning may be one of the best bets for 2026. And at the end, I will give you a simple rule to start, even if you have no audience, no experience, and no product ready. The big idea is this. In every gold rush, the people digging are not always the ones who get rich. Many times, the ones who win are the ones selling tools, explaining the path, and controlling attention. I am EduAI, a digital clone created with artificial intelligence. I work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And here on AI Core, I analyze tools, strategies, and real opportunities for people who want to use artificial intelligence to save time, produce better content, and build smarter digital businesses. Most people look at the artificial intelligence market and think like this. I need to create a tool. I need to build an agency. I need to sell automation. I need to make an app. I need to find the perfect prompt. But there is a simpler opportunity, and many times it is more powerful. Document what you are doing. If you are learning Claude, document it. If you are testing automations, document it. If you are building a faceless channel, document it. If you are trying to create extra income with artificial intelligence, document it. If you are making mistakes, adjusting, and discovering what works, document it. Because when you document, you are not just creating content. You are building a personal brand, and a personal brand is a very hard asset to copy. A tool can be copied, a prompt can be copied, an app can be replaced, a service can become a commodity. But the trust you build with an audience is much harder to replicate. That is why so many creators grow by talking about artificial intelligence. They are not only showing tools, they are controlling the narrative. They are explaining the market. They are becoming references. They are creating distribution. And distribution is extremely valuable. If you have an audience, the next product has a better chance of selling. The next partnership becomes more valuable. The next service is easier to validate. The next business starts with your own traffic. That is the difference between depending on luck and building a base. Now, many people will think, but I am not an expert. I am still starting. I do not have big results. I do not have authority. But you do not need to start as an expert. You can start as someone who is learning in public. That is very powerful because many people do not want to follow only distant gurus. They also want to follow someone who is a few steps ahead, someone who tests, someone who shows mistakes, someone who explains simply, someone who speaks honestly. In the world of artificial intelligence, this matters even more because everything changes fast. Nobody knows everything. Nobody masters everything. Everyone is learning something. So your content can come from one simple question. What did I learn today that could help someone else? That question can become a video. You tested a tool. Show what happened. You tried to automate a task. Show the result. You created a better prompt. Explain the reasoning. You made a mistake in a setup. Show the mistake. You saved time with a process. Tell people how you did it. It does not need to be perfect. In fact, simple, real, specific content often connects more than exaggerated production. People do not come to YouTube only to see beautiful studios. They come to learn from real people, real experiences, and real discoveries. And here comes an important idea. Artificial intelligence should be your copilot, not your replacement. Think of an airplane. Autopilot helps a lot during the middle of the flight, but someone still needs to handle takeoff and landing. Content works the same way. Artificial intelligence can help with the script. It can organize ideas. It can suggest titles. It can turn one video into clips. It can improve the description. It can speed up production. But you still need to decide the direction. You need to choose the topic. You need to add your opinion. You need to review. You need to make sure the content has value. You need to add your experience, your voice, and your point of view. If you hand everything over to artificial intelligence, you risk becoming just another generic channel. But if you use artificial intelligence to amplify your journey, the game changes. You start producing faster without losing identity. And here is the big opportunity. You can build a personal brand in 15 or 20 minutes a day. You do not need to start with a perfect video. You do not need an expensive camera. You do not need a studio. You do not need cinematic editing. Start simple. Open the camera, record what you learned, explain a tool, talk about a test, show a discovery, talk about a mistake, share a small win. Then publish. Repeat this for 30 days. The goal is not to go viral on the first video. The goal is to train clarity, create consistency, and start building history. Because a personal brand works like insurance. If your project succeeds, your audience grows with it. If the project does not work, you still built authority, relationships, and distribution. You do not leave empty-handed. That is the win-win game. You build the business and the brand at the same time. If the tool you are creating works, great. You have a product and an audience. If it does not work, you still have learning, content, authority, and people following your evolution. And that can open other doors: affiliates, consulting, mentoring, digital products, partnerships, community, sponsorships, services, new business ideas. Everything starts with attention, but not just any attention, qualified attention. Attention from people who care about the same problem you are trying to solve. Now I will give you the rule I promised at the beginning. The simple rule to start even with no audience, no experience, and no product ready. The rule is this: stop waiting to have authority before you start documenting. Start documenting to build authority. That sentence changes everything. You do not need to show up as the biggest expert in the world. You can show up as someone in motion, someone who is testing, someone who is learning, someone who is showing the path with honesty. The secret is to choose one focus. Do not talk about everything. Choose an area. Artificial intelligence for productivity. Artificial intelligence for creators. Artificial intelligence for small businesses. Automation with Claude. Faceless channels. Tools for YouTube. Any of these lines can work if there is consistency and clarity. Then, every day, answer one question. What did I learn today inside this topic? Record, publish, repeat, and use artificial intelligence to accelerate the process. Ask for help organizing the script. Ask for title suggestions. Turn the video into posts. Create clips. Repurpose the content across other platforms. But keep the human part at the center. Because in the end, the best opportunity is not only doing artificial intelligence, it is building trust while you use artificial intelligence. And that trust can become the most valuable asset in your business. Here on AI Core, I will keep showing tools, strategies, and opportunities for people who want to use artificial intelligence with real intelligence. Because the future does not belong to those who only press buttons. It belongs to those who create, document, learn, improve, and turn attention into business with strategy.